Hello everyone, Ruby Retrograde Tarot and T here, and what I'll be showing you guys today are a selection of decks from my collection that I happen to have pulled out for the fall slash Halloween month season. And I just wanted to share those with you guys. I had been thinking about doing that video a little bit, I guess, since at least September-ish, but I didn't actually start pulling out those decks until beginning of October, and here we are at Thanksgiving. So, by the way, happy Thanksgiving. I know not everyone has Thanksgiving on this month, but for those that do, happy Thanksgiving. And for those that will be later, happy Thanksgiving at that time. But in any case, so yeah, I guess I just wanted to share with you guys, like I mentioned, the decks that I plan on using during those, 3-ish, sometimes it feels more like 2.5 months before snow falls. I'm saying the word snow for the first time. I'm not ready. Just so you know, fall and winter, I will say, maybe are my least-ish favorite. I don't like those seasons as much as I like summer. Summer is definitely my favorite season. Fall I can appreciate. Winter I just don't like the cold. The cold part, I can't. It's not even some people sometimes they try to convince me like, oh well, it's soup season. I'm like, I eat soup at all times of the year. Even when I was a kid, that never stopped my mom from serving a hot bowl of soup in the middle of a heat wave in July. Uh but in any case, how I guess got to pulling these cards out of my decks. Sometimes it's as simple as the theme, something and you'll see among the decks that I'll be showing you guys. Like some, it's very obvious. Oh yeah, it does look very fall, definitely very Halloween, definitely kind of thing. And others, sometimes it's kind of a vibe. I don't know if that happens to you guys sometimes where you have a deck and either you just purchase it or by habit of using it, you kind of get this, I guess, feeling, or it kind of feels to you like, oh yeah, this feels fall. But in any case, without further ado, with this little preamble that I'm going already all over the place, let me start showing you those decks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the decks that are more fall. Like, fall, whether it be because of the colors, the leaves, feel like it gets colder type of thing. And then after that, I'm going to go to the Halloween ones. Ones that make me kind of think of those October, very beginning of November, like November 1st type of thing. So let us start. It's not in any particular order of preference or anything like that. So let us start with our first deck. The first deck, actually, speaking of which, it's an oracle. This was created by the Japanese witch. And this is, I always forget what is the name. Hold on one second. This is a Urinosumiere by the Japanese witch, Sumiko. The reason why this kind of gives me a fall feel is, first off, just the black on white tones, the colors. And when I first got the deck after backing it on Kickstarter, and I first went through the cards, it gave me this like quiet sophistication type of thing, like very like classy, if I can say it like that. And I guess because just because it's a black on white, there's a quiet. I look at these cards again and it's like, it's as if, how can I explain it? It's as if there's this stillness, this quietness, and it's just these images speaking. It cuts through the well, even I can't even say almost, it's almost as if the outside noises, the white noises or whatever else, it's as if it's all quieted down, and only this kind of cuts through it, or that's the only thing that's speaking above all of it. So that's what it is. And I think this is the only card that has like a splash of color, if I remember correctly. But this is the what I call the original version, because there is a Sakura version which is pink and white that I didn't back. This is the black and white version, but I personally prefer that one. It looks so cool. But I won't go through the whole deck. This is Urinosumiere by Sumiko, the Japanese witch. Let's go to the next deck. All right, so the next one is also an oracle deck, and this is the Reclaim Oracle. It was created by Little Darkness Edition. It was created, hold on one second, I'm drawing a blank on the name exactly. I'll write it down if I remember. By Marion. There you go, Marion Constantine. Or Constante, depending, I'm not sure. Technically, it's not so much that this oracle is just for fall. It's, again, the colors. Here, I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but it's black on this, it's black and very light pink. Very, like a powder pink, I'll call it. And I do believe I went through this deck in a flip through on my channel. If I have, I'll pin it up. Although at the time that I'm doing this video, I might not have posted it yet. So either or, whether you'll see the little link there or not, just stay tuned. And basically this oracle deck, when I got it and was going through it, as you can see, it has different emotion. This is a 96? Yes, I believe it's 96 cards. This is one of the biggest oracle decks that I have, putting aside another one that I have, because it's technically tarot, but in any case. But back to this, it spoke to me. Even the images, even though like just looking at the image real quick, they seem like very simple, not this like amazingly detailed artistic wow image you see on some art sometimes, but something about the fact that it's so simple, it makes it that much more talkative. And when I've used this deck, I don't know, I felt connected to it. It was, I really like it. I don't know how to say it other than I really liked it. The guidebook as well, I found it really good. I've even used it with other people, and yeah, they were able to, sometimes just looking through the deck to try and find the emotion that you're feeling right now without necessarily shuffling and asking a question. Sometimes just the act of going through it and say, oh yeah, I'm feeling disconnected, or I'm feeling I don't know, pride, and going to the book and reading about it, sometimes that I found helped me, and I really enjoy that. And here again, because yeah, it seems like a simple enough reason, but because it's black and dark, and oftentimes with fall and, you know, getting into winter, it's one of those where you have your last celebration before it starts getting cold outside. But I don't know, I find this very helpful, and I really enjoy that. And even if it's not fall, if it wasn't fall, I would use it just to say, at least for this one. So it is the Reclaim Oracle. Let's go to the next one. All right, so this next deck is a tarot, actually. It's called the Lost Forest Tarot. It is the 2nd edition. This one was made by Chelsea Santa Maria. And the reason why, to me, it is fall-ish, is this really cool well, as the name of the deck says, it's the Lost Forest. So it's this forest environment. But you know, here you see in the case of the earth suit, which is pentacles. Yes, pentacles. Here you see the leaf. There's still leaves on the trees and things like that. But at the same time, let me see if I can find a good example. Like even for the sun, here you can see the branches are without leaves. There's something about the forest, this forest fantasy world, where you know you have all these fantasy creatures, or like this here. I remember looking through that whole suit of earth. I was like, man, this, you know, just walking through forest, it does feel like, I mean, you could go through the whole season or fall, or even the Hanged Man there, which I find is pretty cool. Oh, this one is upside down. I don't know, there's something about it. It's like this, there's all these creatures, but it's also quiet, if that makes sense. It's like I can hear myself think, or yeah, I guess a bit when you're walking in the forest and you know you're not, well, even if you're walking with someone else in whatever forest, at some point in time you kind of quiet down and you just hear the environment, whatever sound is happening, whether, you know, birds, depending on the time of day that you're going. But I don't know, something about it, it feels like it could work for shadow work if I wanted to do some like deep soul searching, or deeper questions. And I guess fall I kind of associate fall with those deeper questions, and winter a bit more, I would say. But you know, fall is when things starts, especially for the leaves, you know, the leaves are falling and all that's there are the branches. So after all the pretty fluffy stuff are there, like look at this really cool tree for the emperor. That definitely looks like, the colors on those leaves definitely look like some of what we have going on around my town and my city. And just if I were to go out the city, I would see tons of trees with those beautiful red and orange foliage. And as much as I don't like the cold, I do appreciate the color. Like it's a love dislike relationship with fall, basically, me and this season. But yeah, what I was saying is just, you know, after all these pretty leaves, they change color, they fall, you know, except for the pine trees, you just have the branch and you kind of just see what's there after you kind of get rid, after all the pretty stuff kind of falls away. And I guess that's how I kind of see you know, shadow work type of thing, or asking those like deep questions. Why do I have a few cards that are upside down? Good thing I'm going through it, so at least I know that some of these cards are upside down, and I don't remember flipping those cards upside down, so that I'm not confused if when I use it and I'm wondering why. But in any case, this is the Lost Forest 2nd edition. And also, just as a side note, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, because it is quite sunny right now. There's a glorious ray of sun that decided to come through my window. But if you can see, there's like spot UV on some of the areas of the card, so it does this like really cool texture here. Oh wait, there, you can kind of see it if I angle it like that. But yeah, so this, everyone, it is The Lost Forest 2nd edition by Chelsea Santa Maria. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but that's how it rolls off the tongue for me. But in any case, let's go to the next deck. Okay, now this next deck, I'm sure once I show it to you guys, it's going to be one of those, but of course, duh. It is Oak, Ash, and Thorn by Stephanie Burrows and Adam Ohlers. I'll just have to show you the cards and you will see automatically why this is a fall deck for me. Let me just take out the other cards. As you can see, it came with not a booklet, but little keywords for each of the cards there. And as you can see straight away, you know, it's forest animals. Oh, this sun is going to mess up my lights, isn't it? Yeah. Let's see if we can fix something. Okay. So as you can see, You know, you have those forest animals, whether they're hares, fox, crows, and squirrels. I don't remember if there's other animals in there, but as you can see, just the leaves there, it is so fall. And the images are beautiful. This, it seems a little bit darker, and I'm not darker in terms of, I guess feel, but darker in the sense that it's not early fall. It makes me think of maybe that October, November fall. Like here, I would say maybe a late September, October type of thing. But in other cards where, for example, the sky is darker, why can't I put this other card? Something like that, for example, I would think an October, November months type of thing. So to me, definitely very fall. I've used, when it's funny because I got it, well, when did I get it? I want to say maybe last year, but it wasn't, fall had already passed, so I didn't find myself using it up until this year, this fall, when I actually used it for when I was doing my daily draws. And a few times I was like, man, why aren't I using this deck? Don't I like it? And every time I'm looking at it, I'm like, no, I do like it a lot. And then I finally clued in that it was because the paysage, the landscape, just was so end of the year to me that it's like my brain was like, nah, we don't like it. It's me using it when it's 30 degrees outside and the leaves are super green. It kind of felt odd to my brain, which is maybe odd to say. I'm sure there are some people that like, we don't care, we can use cards anytime, any place. But I don't know, particularly for this one especially, it was like, I don't know, I don't want to use it in July. I want to use it September, October, November, December. Maybe not December, but definitely those 3 months. But yeah, as you can see, they're beautiful. I don't even need to show all the cards because this deck has been talked up and down the tarot tube ever since it came out. And with the oh, what is the other one called? The dragon one, Ash. I don't want to. I don't want to say something that it's not the title. But anyways, the dragon theme one. I mean, those are two very beautiful decks. But yeah, let's end on this one. Look at this one. Doesn't that look super fall? It's a really cool call. It's the Emperor. So definitely, if you're looking for something seasonal, nothing like, I would put that in my I would almost put that in on number one nearly. If yeah, definitely that would be a number one choice. The Oak, Ash, and Thorn. Next, go to the next deck. All right, I had to close my shades, my curtains a little bit so that it wouldn't mess up too much with the focus and everything else. So let's go with another one that to me felt like it could jive for this fall season. It might seem a bit odd, but guys, stay with me. It is a Pulp Tarot with created by Todd Alcott. That was a Kickstarter. Has it become a mass market? I might mistake it with another deck, but for some reason, I believe it's turning into a mass market. Don't quote me on that. I think I'm mixing it up with another card. But the reason why this was fall-y to me was the color scheme and the whole design idea that it's based on the pulp era of imagery of design, which to me, you know, pulp, it's kind of like I call it antique, or not necessarily vintage, because vintage I think it's a bit even older than pulp era, but this old-timey those old paperback books that used to have the red edging, kind of like this one. I have to say, this is one of a really good red color for an edge. I really enjoy that one. But, and then it reminds me, like I mentioned, because I did make a flip through video of this deck, and I'll try to remember to link it here. It reminds me of those old paperback books that I used to read year round, but you know, especially when you're in school, you usually have your off days in fall for Thanksgiving and you know, other holidays, things like that, and then I find myself reading those books. So I guess it kind of makes me think of that. And yeah, this just the high concentration of red. And red could be passion, it could be love, but I was thinking, oh, you know, what do I want to use for fall? And this kind of pinged. This red, for some reason, became like, yeah, this would be cool to use. And the imagery too, I would say, kind of added to the let's use that for fall. I mean, it's not necessarily that this deck is going to become a season exclusive, meaning that I'll only use that for this season, but just because I was thinking of cards to decks, I should say, to use for these upcoming months, this came up to mind. And so the Pulp Tarot is one that I'll be using. And of course, I'm saying that I'll be using. Hopefully, I just have to carve time and not let myself get distracted. And it's not even so much letting myself get distracted, but sometimes, you know, life happens and you find yourself not having time to do as many readings for yourself or whoever as you hope or you planned on doing. But we're working on it. We're working on it. So that is a Pulp Tarot by Todd Alcott. And let's go to the next one. All right. So this next one, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, is it an odd choice? I don't know. You be the judge of it. It is the Untamed Mystery Tarot that was created by Wheel of Fortune, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune Tarot. That I picked up on Kickstarter. It has 7 or 8 different versions. This is the Noir Illusion. This is one of my, oh wait, I feel like some of my cards are upside down. Yes, they are. So while I'm here, I'm going to flip them the right way. But this is probably one of my favorite decks ever, if I can say that. Just for this, hold on. How many of your decks can do this? Why does it make that sound? Because it is plastic. Like, I'm sure, like, you guys saw me do this and some people were like, that card! No, don't worry. Straight plastic. It's awesome. I love it. Every time, you know, it's not that I use it often, but when I do pull it out and I take it out and put it in my hands, I just remember how fun it is. And you can shuffle like crazy. This is the one deck that I shuffle with absolutely no worries, stress, concern even, I would say, that something is going to happen to these cards. Sorry, I've seen like I put a chunk of my cards facing each other. I don't know why. So as you can see, it's for the minor arcanas, it has horses, rabbits, tortoise, and I believe birds like eagles and stuff like that. I will say, if you have an issue with eyeballs and things like that, the deck might not be for you, because it does feature on the cards. I think every single card has at least one, and it's this weird world, this weird, like they say, Untamed Mystery, but it's this weird in like universe where you have these flower with eyeballs. It's like they're observing what's going on. They're participants or spectators in what's going on in the card. You know, it's I should say up to now, all the decks that I've showed, except for the oracles, of course, but all the decks that I've shown up to this point are Rider-Waite-Smith, inspired or clones. Yeah, inspired more than clones. But yeah, here's the bird. That's for the swords. I will say for the Noir Illusion, it is a little bit harder to see what is... Hold on, let me find a sunny spot there. But it is a bit harder to tell what is the name of the card. I will say that. It might also be because of the material that makes it so the contrast isn't as there. But the images are pretty cool. And just the atmosphere. The atmosphere feels late fall to me. Or even, like, I would even put it Halloween-like. Because some of the things are kind of grotesque. Like this snail with eyes on its shell. Like, it's kind of grotesque-y. It could be Halloween-like. And yeah. And frankly, if it wasn't fall... See, this kind of card, this is the Justice card. The plate of the balance plate, one that has eyes, one that has brain. I mean, that goes into Halloween territory. So I could use it this month, really, but I already have so many cards that I want to use for Halloween. You'll see it shortly. We're almost done the fallish, but yeah. And frankly, even if, yeah, like I was mentioning, even if it wasn't fall or Halloween, if I can find an excuse to break this out just so that I can shuffle it, like, let me just give an example. Like, because it's plastic, as you can see, very pliable. I will say, if you have a tendency of having butterfingers, do keep that in mind, because you could very easily play a game of 78 pickup. But, like, see what I'm saying about butterfingers? All right, what fell out? Oh, thank you. It's just one card. All right, the Two of Pentacles. Choices. I know. Maybe I will choose that deck. But it's so much fun. I won't shuffle every single deck, but just... And it's solely because when you shuffle, I can use as much force as I can. I can bend them pretty far back. And then they'll just snap, right? Of course, let's not abuse it, but... In any case, and the boxes are pretty. It's very pretty with the foil. It's called Noir Illusion, but the box is not black. I will tell you that. When I got it after the Kickstarter and they sent it to me, I was confused for a second because I thought for a moment they sent me the wrong color. And it wasn't until I opened the box I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure I ordered the Noir Illusion. And this does not seem like it, but disaster averted. And the guidebook is pretty chunky. Part of it because they use a good size font on it, which is nice. But there is an error of print, at least in this version, the Kickstarter version I got, where they printed one page twice. But I mean, it's Rider-Waite Smith inspired, so it's not too much of an issue. But here's my other fallish crossing into Halloween border territory deck, the Untamed Mystery Tarot. Let's look at the next one. All right, now this next one, I'm looking at my decks, and I think the keyword I could use, at least for the fall, is that either it's, you know, the fall theme, like for Oak, Ash, and Thorn, where it's obvious leaves and everything else, or it's like this bleak-ish world. And hopefully this next deck will kind of illustrate what I mean. It's the Heaven and Earth Tarot by Jack Sephiroth and Jamie L. Ford. Now I can't remember, I believe I read or someone told me that this was an indie and that it was mass marketed, but I think that's not accurate. You can tell me in the comments if that's the case. So this is what I mean by bleak world. First off, I find this deck pretty epic. I mean, look at this King of Swords. This looks like a chariot, I think. Yeah, this is like a chariot is sitting on. We got what looks like birds. No, butterflies. Well, see, I think, hold on, let me look. Yeah, they look like butterfly wings. At first, I thought they were birds that were about to take flight. But now that I'm looking at it, clearly, it might not be that. And it just looks this epic. Yeah, it just looked like this epic world, epic fantasy. If I were to pick up an RPG in some fantasy medieval setting, it would kind of look like that. It is Christiany inspired. There are Christian inspirements. Oh, whoa, what's the word? I cannot English today. Anyways, there's Christian inspiration elements in there. And this is kind of what I mean by bleak world, where, you know, it has this gray tone. It seems a bit desolate, but still alive. There's still stuff going on. Maybe it seems a little bit hard, like a harsher life. And I guess that's kind of how I associate fall too. Not as much as winter. Winter is, especially where I live, it can be a pretty harsh winter, but even fall sometimes can you know, smack you upside the head pretty good. But the images here, see, this is like, if you cannot tell me that this is not Christian, like or Virgin Mary or anything like that, you can't tell me that's not it. I don't know, just looking at this, and I think because it's the lack of the lush greenery. Hold on, which card is it? I think I just passed it. The High Priestess doesn't have any tree like things, but I mean, even on the classic Rider-Waite-Smith, you know, you'd have like a blue sky or things like that. And so that's kind of, my brain kind of does really sometimes simple and sometimes odd association, where it's like, you know, there's barely really any greenery. Does it seem, yeah, it doesn't seem like, you know, spring or summer or even winter. It's like this foggy, overcast world. Maybe this coastal universe, I don't know. It's like on an island. It's constantly in fog. And yeah, I'm trying to explain it, and I feel like I make less and less sense as I'm explaining it. But just so you know, in shorter, simpler term, the landscape feels very overcasted here. At least here, when fall starts coming, it looks a bit like spring, where it gets cold, it can get rainy quite easily, and well, quite easily. It can get rainy quite a lot more often. And then a few times, it's rare, but it does happen sometimes. There can be some fog happening, but it won't, like, it'll be like in the morning time or something like that. But I do remember, for example, last year, October, when I did Halloween, it kind of, like, to me, like, because it was cold the whole day. It was cold and it was wet, and it wasn't a strong rain. It wasn't a spittle of rain. It was kind of like this rain. It wasn't. I did Halloween anyway, but it wasn't as fun. I mean, either make it rain or just make it cold, but both, it kind of sucks, I have to say. But in any case, and I do like this Three of Swords here. I find it pretty cool. But anyways, let me conclude on this particular deck, and then I think it is almost a good crossover to my fall Halloween time type of deck. But just in case you're interested, it's the Heaven and Earth Tarot. So let's go to the next one. All right, for these next one, now we're walking into straight October Halloween theme. So we'll start with the first one. And in fact, I'm showing this oracle, and I probably should show the whole family because they're all related. They're made by the same person. So I think that's what I'll do. So I'll start with this one. It's the Hidden Hand Society divination deck. This is the Bonaventure Cemetery. This was created by Holly Audley, and in that same token, I should show the rest of her decks that I have, because they're all in that same theme of spooky, almost spoopy. And this, but I'm saying spoopy. The Spoopy Tarot would have been a good choice, but I did not buy it because I did not want it. I already have cutesy Halloween. But in any case, side note, we have this one, but let me just, I guess, show quickly. I recently got the Kickstarter mini divvies with the the storage box. Now, why half of them are openish like that is because I've been using them for my daily card of the day draws, and so I've been using some of these decks. So just the whole family real quickly, we have, so this is the Bonaventure Cemetery Divination deck. There is the Teeny Tiny Tarot, and then all her mini divvies. So we have mini divvies, let me show you guys, mini divvies Ghost, and I'll show a few of the cards, but there is mini divvy Opposites, there is mini divvy Omens, and there is a mini divvy Curiosity, mini divvies Dreams, yes, Dreams, and then mini divvy Messages. So let me at least clear a little bit the board so I'm not dropping stuff. So the divination deck, this is based on elements that Holly saw during her walks through cemeteries. And look at this cute little bling here. So for this one, it's just little yeah, elements, like I mentioned, that she noticed while walking in the cemetery. So you'll have, sometimes it's details on the tombstone itself, or sometimes it's the nature that surrounds those tombstones. Very simple, very cutely drawn, very sparse on the color schemes. And yeah, it's a cemetery, and so it feels Halloweeny, it feels fall-y. But yeah, and then let me just show you real quickly. So you have a little teeny tiny booklet here for each of the cards for what they mean. So that is the Bonaventure Divination deck. And if I quickly go on to the Teeny Tiny Tarot, once again, it's the same style, you know, limited use of color palette. Why is this upside down? Here for the minors, you have skulls, needles. So needles are swords, skulls are cups, sticks for wands, and what's the other one? I'm missing one. I forgot what it is. It's gonna come to me as I'm looking through it. But you know, it's this cutely adorable. Oh, eyeballs for pentacles. So as you can see, it's cutely drawn. Definitely has some element of you know, spookiness. The skulls and the eyeballs there. Once again, if you have issues with eyeballs, you may not want to have this deck particularly. And I see this ray of sun is getting back here, but to me, I saw this and definitely gave me fall, straight up Halloween elements. I mean, look at the hangman. It's a bat, a cute bat, or like death, like this ominous entity going on here. If this does not start to tell you Halloween, I don't know what will. And then let me show you the other oracle decks. We have, let me start here with the messages. So the messages here are basically just little, it's an oracle deck. It's just little straight up messages. And I love the designs on these ones. I said in my videos where I unboxed it, this is probably one of my favorite oracles of hers. The messages, just because of how it's done. It's so cute in the design sense. I find it's genius. You know, like for example, the big picture is coming together and it's these puzzle pieces. And sometimes you might just look at the cards quickly and you'll have an idea of what it is, or where is your heart. I mean, it's just, you'll always pay for it in the end. And it's a receipt tag. I love this. I really do. And let me show you the other one. The other one being the dreams. You know what? I won't go through all of them. Oh, wait. This one is not completely open. I don't want to break the the flap on the tuck box, so I'll just skip some of them. If you want to look at all of them properly, I did do a flip through of these cards. I'll remember to link it over there. And once again, at the time that I'm filming this, I don't think it's posted yet, but it should be soon. And it might be there by the time that I post it. Anyways, by the time I'm done with this, you'll see if it's there. But this is the Curiosity. This is, again, another my favorite. This one and Messages kind of battle for first. I think I said Messages my favorite, but this one also is my favorite because when you draw the cards, you make like a little curio cabinet out of it. So you can make like a 2-story or a 2-level curio cabinet like this. You know, a 2-on-2, or maybe you want to do a skinnier one, but with 3. And I find it so cool. It makes like a little messages thing. Again, another one where I think the concept of it is so cool. And I've as you can see, I've done some daily pull with it, and I've had so much fun with it, just because of that concept. Let me show one last one because I don't want to spend a lot of time with just on this because I have a few more to show. This is the Omens mini Devi. And so these are based on I think it says at the back. I believe it's based on like an 18th century book that talked about omens and what they mean. And so I really like the inspiration that she got to do these oracle decks. So here's just like many little things. So for example, sneeze before breakfast, loneliness is ending soon. I did not sneeze this morning. So y'all know, still as single as a loony. I might be loony too. Anyways, but yeah. And then an itchy nose. Someone will soon be messaging with needed news. So I find that this is pretty fun. So we'll just, I won't, like I mentioned, I won't expand on each and every one of them. You can see the unboxing and flip through I did for the mini Devis. I did one for the 5 mini Devis, and there is another one for the tarot and the first oracle, because it came in 2 campaigns. So the first campaign were these 2, and she did a second campaigns for the rest of the oracles. So you'll see 2 separate videos. I'll link those there. I know these ones are definitely on my channel already. You can check those out. But yeah, Holly Audley's family at this point of oracles and tarot. That is definitely a Halloween for me. So let's go to the next one. All right, we're back. I had to go hide the sun a little bit again so that it wouldn't throw off my camera. But anyways, let's go to the next one. That is a deck that I got from Kickstarter. I have done a video on it as well. It is the Bloody Tears Tarot, which was created by, let me remember, Dmitro, the artwork I should say was Dmitro Rajchak. All right, so like I mentioned, I got that on Kickstarter. It was a recent Kickstarter, maybe a few months ago. And so the appeal, and you'll see right away the why and the hows of why is this a Halloween-y deck. You've got your vampires. You'll definitely see the similarity to the video game Castlevania, which the first, I think in the video I didn't mention it, or I didn't pick it up, I don't remember, but someone else in a server I'm in mentioned it, and I was like, oh yeah, right, but I don't remember if I mentioned it in the video. But anyways, yeah, it does have a Castlevania vibe. And the appeal of this deck, the reason why I ended up getting it, was all of this art that you see was made with pens, ink pens, big pens, whatever, like pens. Think of pens you get at the dollar store, pens that you use to write, and blue, black, and red. Those were used to create this. And I have to say, like, the art, the skill level is wow. I was blown away. Just look at the details, the shadows, the depth. It adds to this vampiric world. I find it so amazing. And now in the flip through, I did say that I wasn't like, I was on and off about it because some of the cards, the images that they use for some of the, I believe it's the minor arcana especially, I found myself not quite connecting with them, or it's, I don't know. I couldn't see it. That's how I'll say it. But I don't know. Maybe when I use it this month for some of the cards, maybe by using it, maybe I'll come to an understanding with it. Maybe we'll go to an understanding with it. We'll learn to get along. And if not, it's okay. Maybe it's not my time yet to fully connect with it. You never know. It's not necessarily gonna make me want to get rid of it or give it away. Sometimes it's just a matter of later it makes sense. Not everything can make sense the first time, but as you can see, it's all this vampire world. So, and what is Halloween if there's not at least one mention of vampires? Whether they be pretty, they be aristocratic, they be sparkly, vampires. And I mean, this is a pretty cool King of Sword vampire, you gotta say. So there you have it. And the back of the cards also, as you can see, like this cathedral style thing in pen. This is so amazing. Every time I'm so impressed. So that is the Bloody Tears Tarot. And I believe the publisher, or the creator may have another deck currently on Kickstarter. I'm not too sure, but I think so. But anyways, so that is the deck. Let's go to the next one. Okay, the next one, it is the Tarot de Marseille by Polka. So this, I will say right away, it is not Rider-Waite-Smith inspired. It is based on the Marseille system. And you will see right away why this makes me think of October, makes me think of Halloween. Just the grotesqueness of this. I mean, look at the lovers. Look at this dude. What did he deserve to get an arrow straight to the heart? And now I want to sing that song so badly. Oh, I'm not gonna sing it. But y'all, if you know the song, that's with this shot through the heart, I'm gonna leave it right there. But yeah, so as you can see, it's Marseille, and you have like these. Yeah, like I mentioned, grotesque, it's odd, it's gory at times. I will mention, so here, this is an example where this is gory. I will mention that for the knights in the minor arcana, all but one of the horses in there have a terrible fate. So if if animal cruelty or animal goriness is not your thing, I will let you know. Like this, there's nothing cutesy, nothing flowery about this. This girl, this queen, gives such, like, that eye, that cut eye is like beautiful. It's mwah, chef's kiss. But yeah, here you have like intestines or tripes going on. As you can see, because it's Marseille, it's very pippish. And this looks like but it's a cup. I don't know why they would have the Leo sign here. Here it kind of looks like a rose. But here the guy looks slimy. So I'm trying to go quickly. Or here, see, here's an example for the Queen of Swords, like off with her head. Let me see. And here's an example for one of the knights. The horse is skinned, And if this makes you think of another artist and art style, I will say yes, kind of, in a sense. And yeah, in a sense they're kind of similar. And but yeah, not speaking for the other deck, like what's his name? Jeez, I have the deck. Patrick Valencia. There you go. But yeah, so I'm gonna go quickly because it's all pips. But as you can see, definitely on topic. Here's a skeleton of a, and this no, that's not the least of the horses. But I mean, and the funny thing is, normally it's not necessarily my style. Like this level, well, this sort of weirdness and goriness is not my thing. But I think what convinced me in the end to get this was, for example, that Queen of not Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups, I think, who was giving such cut eye. Like there's some of these cards, they're funny. It's so the expressions are like ridiculously sarcastic looking, and I don't know, it made me laugh, which is kind of weird because normally like gory gory horror stuff is not my cup of tea. But there's something about it that I don't know. It's the thing. It's so bad. It's so absurd. It made me laugh. But I believe I also did a full flip through of this deck, and I'll try essentially to put everything that I did do a flip through in the videos. I'll attach them so you can kind of jump around and look at it, or put it in your watch later and knock yourselves out with a nice cup of tea or two and snacks. But yeah, this is the Polka Tarot de Marseille by Polka. And let me show you the deck that it reminds me of. Triumphide La Luna, Patrick Valencia, illustrated pips. I believe that's the most recent one. Yes, that was the most recent. Well, there was the whole hype because there were no minors. Actually, yeah, there were no minors shown, no cards shown up until it launched, and we're ready to be shipped. So this is the deck that the Tarot de Marseille kind of reminds me of in terms of art style and grotesque absurdness. So these are just the extra cards that came with the illustrated, the Triumphide La Luna. So these are a whole bunch of devils. I think there's other cards too that you could choose from. The Star, the Tower, or the House of God, and the Judgment. So these are some extra cards that came with it. Just looking at the cards itself, normally this would not be my thing. Like, definitely. Because to me, it's odd, but it's too odd for my level of odd. Like it's kind of similar to if you're eating something that's too sweet. It's kind of like, okay, it's too odd for me. But I don't know why. You know what? No, it's not that I don't know why. It was FOMO. A good reason of why I ended up getting this deck was FOMO. I was had because of the whole only 500 copies. There will not be a reprinting. I don't know why, but FOMO won over me thinking that this is super odd. Like, look at this ominous figure. Why would I want this? Like, personally, if this is behind me, I'm leaving. I am burning the house and I'm leaving, because we're not having this sort of this is too much. It's too scary for me. I can handle the smallest amount of scary in my life, and I have two decks that I would say are kind of odd and creepy and scary-ish. I'll blame FOMO and just me being suddenly I got crazy. I don't know what happened, but yeah. So this totally feels Halloweeny to me because of those weird characters, which it's as if it would be a alternate universe of oh no, the movie escape The Nightmare Before Christmas. So you know how in the movie The Nightmare Before Christmas, all these different characters, it's like these devilish imps and these monsters type of thing. I feel like this would be like maybe if the Nightmare Before Christmas was a whole planet, this would be a continent somewhere. So you'd have the Nightmare Before Christmas in its own on its own continent, and then in another continent you'd have these people, like these weird monster type thing, with, you know, moons for heads. There's the one like even at the back of the box, like this. It's weird, but it's silly. It's kind of funny. It's this deck that's all over the place, and I totally should. I haven't really planned a time yet that I'm gonna crack this open to do some card pulls, but I feel like I should have like a whole and I haven't even gotten to do this with this deck yet, but I should do a whole interview spread to be like, why the heck, like how did you end up in my like collection, knowing that normally I go for cutesy, you know, sunny, positive, lush greeneries, like just colorful stuff. You know, some can be monochromatic, but even the monochromatic, there's something like wow about it. So something happy. I don't know. Very, very cutesy, or I usually tend to go for cutesy and detailed imagery. I can have, well, anyways, this is a tangent, but yeah, I'm not gonna go through all of them because I again did do a flip through of that deck. I am very, very sure that I did. So you can see all the details of them there, and like, look at this, like this guy, if this was a guy in the street that you see, we're calling the police and I'm running the other way. This is it's kind of scary. Like I said, I am baby level of scary. You will not see me watch a scary movie. The scariest level of stuff would be the Supernatural series. That's it. But all that aside, this deck is definitely a Halloween theme. Triumphide La Luna, Illustrated Pip Edition by Patrick Valenza. Now let me stop rambling on. Let's go to the next deck. All right. Speaking of adorable decks, the next deck that I'll show you is definitely what I mean by my usual style of cards being cutesy, adorable, positive. I don't know how to explain, but I'm sure you've seen it around. The Bootero by Celia Melesville. Adorable. It has ghosties. It has sparkles. It is fun. That is this is an obvious shoo-in for Halloween. I mean, if you don't have it, I definitely recommend that you get it. So these are just little keywords cards that comes at the back. Let me just make sure that I'm not mixing them up. So this, now, the thing that convinced me, convinced me, that pulled me to get this deck. Let me just look at this. Look, the ghosties. They have sparkles. Sparkles are so fun. Okay, you got me at sparkles. I don't necessarily need, anything on the edges, but if you give me something fun like sparkles on the ghosties, I'm all in. The sparkles, I will say, they are only on the majors arcana. So the rest of them will not have sparkles. And also the back of the cards. That's another thing. Look at that. Is this not Halloween? Is this not adorable? Is this not fun? Why, like, how? Look, if this was wrapping paper or anything else, like even washi tape. And I love the colors on this. The colors are beautiful. So Let me just show a few of the cards. And I don't even have to provide explanation as to why I consider this a Halloween deck. Just look at this little world of ghosts and pumpkins. And I think even the world card, I don't know if it'll show up in my quick flip through, is like a pumpkin spice latte, which every time fall turns around, it's one of the first things that I hear or see in my social media about pumpkin spice latte. But look at this. This is so adorable. Perfect if you want to do like a daily draw or even a whole spread. Like, it doesn't have to be a daily draw here. This is an example again. Look at the sparkles. Now the sun is not here, so it's going to be a bit harder for me to sparkle it up, but look at this. I like it so much. It's so much fun. When I look at it, it made me smile the very first time with this, the previews. And then when I got it in my hand and I was looking at it, made me smile again. I put it in the same category as the Happy Tarot, which I look at it, it just makes me smile because it's so cute, it's so adorable. I just want to hug all the ghosties, and I'm not a ghost person normally. Like, if you tell me there's a ghost behind me, I'm running and I get all scared and stuff like that. But these ghosties, they're so cute, they're adorable. And so let me just skip a few, because if you want to see all the cards, just head here, or it's in my playlist of flip throughs, because I believe I got this deck, I want to say this summer. Was it this summer? I think it was this summer. But in any case, so let's just look a few more because they're adorable. All right, so that's that. So a definite, I think this was probably one of the first decks that came out of my library when I was just thinking of which decks to have for fall and October. The Bootero by Celia Melisville. Let's go to the next one. All right, this next one, not as cute, not as adorable, not as cartoony, but definitely Halloween themed and Halloween feeling, and right for Halloween. The Tarot of Haunted House. That is Los Carabeo, but it's by Sasha Graham. Okay, Sasha Graham and Mirko Pierre. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Pierre Federici. The reason why I pause on Sasha Graham is that I just now realized that I have another deck which she took part in, and I think her book as well. So let's put this away. So as you can see, the name itself definitely lends to the whole Halloween theme. Look at the back of these cards also. So like the Tarot of Haunted House, look at this ominous house perched on top of a cliff. It's a full moon. Seems like it's gonna be a cloudy night. And look at this. The first card, I mean, this boogeyman, that is the reason why my feet are nearly always undercovered. We don't want this. We don't want that. Okay, so we protect our feet with the covers. It is scientifically proven. Okay, but nonsense aside, as you can see, if you could reunite almost every Halloweenish movie or like psychological thriller that have a setting in the, you know, dark old house, well, there you have it. So you have things like that. I think this is the Lovers. I think, yeah, this is the Lovers. And each suit of the minor arcana are different factions or creatures. So the swords here would be the vampires. I don't remember the cups. I would have to look at them. The cups, I forgot what they are. I'd have to look at the booklet. But, and then the pentacles, I think they're witches, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, maybe it's the wands that are the witches. Dang it, I'm gonna have to go look at it, because now I got all my peoples mixed up. But here, see, like this groundskeeper or whatever, the hermit, like that guy looks like he's up to no good. Unless the cups are the angels. Just looking at them, and in this deck, it's this one. So the protagonist we'll call, which is also the lady you'll see on the Fool card. She kind of you see her kind of throughout the cards as she makes encounters with different creatures. Like for example, I think the cups are the angels. So I think that's her again here. You saw her on the angel card. Yeah, Swords of Empires. And then I know she's somewhere else. I think that's her too. So pretty cool. And the art style makes me kind of think of graphic novels, because it's not cartoony and it's not photorealism, but just because of the art style, it reminds me of these adult graphic novels, those gritty ones, like oh, what is it called, like the noir detective type of thing. But yeah, so I think we've gone through enough of those, and as you can see with the image, it's an obvious candidate for Halloween. I believe there is also a flip through of the cards if you want to see them more in details. And this was a card that kind of, I was worried that I missed some cards, because at one point, I think when I bought it originally, the cards were not necessarily in order, but that's just a side note. But another Halloween candidate for your pulls, the Tarot of Haunted House. That is Low Scarabeo, so it's mass market. So let's go to the next one. All right, so there is one left, and I went and double checked in my pile, and I checked at my library to be sure that I did not miss one that I would put in the category of Halloween or fall. So this is the last that I'm gonna in the section of Halloween, although another one could, well, anyways, it is the Darkwood Tarot by Sasha Graham. So this was the reason why I stopped for a minute with the Tarot of Haunted House, because I didn't realize that she had a part in it, that Sasha had a part in it. But in any case, the Darkwood Tarot, it's mass market. And what I was saying earlier is that technically the newer one that came out, the Horror Tarot, which was drawn by the same person, Abigail Larson. Am I saying the name properly? Yes, Abigail Larson. Could definitely fit in the Halloween one, but because I wasn't, I know the horror one didn't interest me, and especially for the Clown as the Sun card. If that's an example of where I'm like, okay, listen, I have some weird-ish, semi, what I consider to be creepy cards or decks, but this was a bit too much. Not that I'm afraid necessarily of clowns, but it was a bit too much for my blood. So this will fit perfectly fine. So the Darkwood Tarot, again, it's a little bit in the same sense as the Tarot of Haunted House, where especially in the major arcana, you have this one lady. I don't have the full card coming up quickly, but you'll see this lady in the full card, and you meet her sometimes in other cards. And then in the minor arcanas, I do not remember if they're separated by particular creatures. I don't think they are. But here, see here, for example, that would be the same girl that you see in the full card. Now she's a hangman. I don't think she is, but the art was what got me. It's this, it's like a dark version of Disney. If you kind of catch my drift, think of, in mind, I'm particularly have in mind the movie Sleeping Beauty. There you go. Sleeping Beauty. Especially when the evil stepmother becomes this like the dragon. For some reason, it's kind of like it gives me similarities. It gives me a similar feel. Also, there's the full. So that's the lady who starts off on her journey. But yeah, it has this like. Anyways, Abigail for her art, I really, 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 really like it. Normally, I'm not too into darker art or gothic-y illustration, but there was something about that really got me. Again, it's that dark Disney feel, and I'm glad that I have it. It's definitely a good choice for Halloween, but also if you want to do shadow, I think even in the book, in the little white book, or in this case, it's not white and it's not little. It's, it's quite chunky. They do mention that it's suited for shadow work, and I think that's one of the things that the concept that they had in mind in creating this. So even if it wasn't Halloween or fall, I mean, if you want to do some shadow work, or you feel like you feel in a dark-ish or a more somber mood, this definitely could be an option for you. But yeah, they're just beautiful illustration. Now I'm looking at these and I'm wondering if I want to use it this week or if I want to wait until later. I don't know. There's so many decks, so little time, so many choices. And if there's anything people need to know about me, is that sometimes I get indecisive, sometimes ridiculously so. But in any case, that's neither here nor there. But as you can see, look at this really awesome looking witch for the Two of Wands. So Halloween. Look at this landscape. So fall. Like it's a total fall vibe. Like a little Disney horror-ish. Well, we know Disney, it's not quite horror movies, except those old ones. Those old Disney movies, sometimes they got pretty dark. You're like, holy crap, Disney, what were you on? But in any case, yeah, the star card is pretty. I like it. It's pretty. Look at this elf type girl for the Page of Cups. A pretty cool Three of Swords. Although if you're not a fan of spiders, there you go. Spider warning. But yeah, so that is my last deck, I would say, that I have in my collection. My little my collection, my collection, my library of decks that to me says Halloween. The Darkwood Tarot by Sasha Graham and Abigail Larson. Alright guys, so there we are at the end of this long video about my choices and selection. Again, I try to keep rambling as little as possible, but that is a tall order for me. If we go and have a quick little recap for Halloween, especially for October Halloween, or November 1st, that's Day of the Dead type of thing, the decks in my collection that I want to use for this season, we have the Darkwood Tarot, that is by Sasha Graham and Abigail Larson. We have the Haunted House, Sasha Graham and Mirko Pierfederici. The Bloody Tears Tarot. Sorry, I always forget the name. The artwork is by Dmitro Rajchak. We got Triumphide La Luna. I don't know how I'm going to be able to squeeze everybody in here because I have tons. I just realized. So this is the October selection. Then we have Tarot Marseille by Polka. And then, oh, where is it? Oh, the Bootero. Then this, well, Halloween, this kind of rides the line of Halloween slash fall. The Hidden Hand Society Bonaventure Cemetery Divination deck by Holly Audley, as well as, hold on one second, I don't think I see, oh, I put it away over there. There, found it. As well as the Teeny Tiny Tarot and Mini Divi's collection set, all by Holly Audley. It doesn't fit my camera field view anymore, but this is definitely a Halloween, Halloween fall. This is maybe a little bit more fall. No, actually, well, yeah, maybe a little bit more fall than Halloween, but it's kind of there. And then if we clear the space and we focus on more fall, for fall, I have in my collection, let's take this out. Oh man, all of a sudden it's dark. What's going on? We have Oak, Ash, and Thorn, the Pulp Tarot, the Untamed Mystery, Heaven and Earth Tarot. We have the Lost Forest 2nd edition. We have then the Reclaim Oracle. And finally, we have Urinosumiere, an oracle as well. So with that, sorry, I'm putting a little bit more light as the sun sets over my neighborhood. With that, I hope that you found some entertainment and maybe discovered some new decks that you haven't seen before, or maybe you've only heard a little bit about, and hopefully it got you curious to know more about it. And if you have some of those decks, well then, hey, let me know. Tell me, what do you think about them? How are you liking them? What are you using them for? Are you one who uses, strictly fall decks, or what you consider fall decks in the fall? Or, whenever the mood strikes, you pull it out and you fling some cards on the table, and there you have it. For myself, like I mentioned, I kind of like to choose cards on the general mood or feel for the cards and the impressions that I get. So, as you can see my selection, all of these gave me the impression of something more fall or more Halloween, like more the last kind of lights of summer as it's kind of dying out and it's about to retreat into slumber and hibernation. It's a bit, for me, it's always a bit sad because I really like the summer and all the things that you're able to do outside, but there's still benefits about fall and Halloween. I mean, Halloween is candy central. That if only for that. I have a terrible sweet tooth, so I think candy. But anyways, with that being said, thank you so much for spending the time here with me to look at my whole stack pile of decks. Hopefully there was a new deck that piqued your curiosity, maybe that you're interested in. Let me know in the comment section down below. Boop, boop. I'm curious to know, do you have decks that you use maybe more in a particular season, like fall? Do you have decks that you consider fall decks, or decks that you consider Halloween decks? How do you what's your thought process? Let me know in the comment section below. And until next time, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye, guys.